Why is kumquat such a funny word?
Because it says come.
Okay.
Also,
well,
quat just sounds dirty.
It does. It does.
I suppose that's true.
It's like a sexy squat.
So before we jump back into it, I do want to tell everybody, Josh was trying to help me through my audio issue, and in doing so, I kind of like climbed under there under the shelf I just built a couple days ago, and I realized what the issue is. Because I listened to myself, I could hear it. The staticky noise is like an interference. I realized, oh, that's like an electrical interference noise. When I built my little shelf for wire management, one of the things I did is I actually took one of the power booster pluggy thing, whatever the fuck you call it. I think you plug into the wall and it plugs into the box and that goes into your monitor. Whatever that power boosty pluggy thing is. I have one of those sitting on the shelf that has my two like expensive pieces of audio equipment, and it's like right next to them. And I was like, that's giving off the electrical signal. I bet. I hope this isn't doing permanent damage because, oops. You know, I imagine it's not, but oops. So yeah. What's that power boosty thing he called, Josh?
I always just call it a brick.
Brick.
It's an adapter. It takes in the voltage and the current and it switches it so it's safe for the thing.
I mean,
brick is okay too.
Yeah.
Brick is.
Isn't it AC when it's on the power lines and it's DC after it comes past your fuse box? Is that how it goes?
It's AC. It's AC all the time.
It's always AC? Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's
So-
why it's DC when you have like batteries as a direct current. Right? AC is it switches the positives and negatives constantly.
Yeah. So that switches it to a DC for you? Is that what it is?
I don't know if it switches to DC. I just know it controls the amperage for what the monitor needs. So there's no spikes and it'll ruin it. I don't know if it changes it to DC.
It doesn't change it to DC. Nothing going into any of your electronics.
Depending on, because like let's say for instance you have a charger for a power drill, that might switch it from AC to DC because it'll say it right on like the little.
Correct. Yeah, because that is going into a battery because essentially.
Yeah, a battery needs a DC.
If the alternating current is always running, then
I just said that.
Good. Yeah.
No, I know you just said about the battery, but not about the charging battery, which is dumb that I didn't put two and two together there. Wow. Okay, I get it now.
Official name's Brick. I'll just say Brick.
Just Brick. It's good.
Okay. All right. Cause she's a brick, house.
She's mighty.
Letting it all hang out. All right. So, anyways, Doxy, you two of you are dancing on the floor. Was there anything specific? Is this the opportunity you wanted to take to talk?
No,
Or...
I'm hoping to stay the night with her again.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about anything specific. You just kind of, at this point, more or less becoming her arm candy, her date. All right, cool. Eventually, when the dance ends, the gentleman that was kind of trying to get your attention before, he's a little persistent. He comes over to try to get her attention again. You allow it, or?
I would say, excuse me, sir. And like just kind of make an incredulous face at him.
Well, the guy approaching you, he's again a guy. He's kind of tall, standing at about 5'10", 5'11". You know what I mean? Again, think of average heights. Josh. So 5'10", 5'11". He is what is it? Straight, dark black hair, blue eyes. Anyways, like I said, he's wearing Maltese military clothing, officer's uniform. You can tell that he's clearly a magister, not a savant by any stretch of the imagination. He looks a little young, human clearly, looks a little young, early 30s maybe. He is, you know, maybe a little young for his position, maybe a little new to his position. Either way. So he approaches and says, pardon me, ladies. Excuse me, Lady Isaac.
Isaac.
I was hoping to have a word with you.
I'm currently having a dance with her.
He says, I've seen, actually. You've been dancing with her for some time. I was hoping to bend her ear just for a couple of minutes. And he will actually turn to you.
To do with her birthday celebration.
He goes, oh, it does have a degree to do with the birthday celebration. Of course. I brought you a gift, actually, he says. And her response is, Tristan, you could have just left it on the table. And he's like, no, I don't mind. I genuinely don't. And so he actually will produce the a small gift and give it to her. And she will take it and she'll say, thank you, I appreciate it. Feel free to open it now. Wouldn't mind? And she's like, very well then. And as she starts to unwrap the gift, he doesn't skip a beat and says, I was hoping to see if you did have an opinion on the paperwork that was sent across your desk recently. It's kind of an important matter, and truth be told, your sister did send it personally. She responds saying, funny that she didn't bring up the paperwork. Yes, she can be forgetful at times. Luckily, I'm generally do assist her in these matters, and I was hoping to see if you had finished seeing to it. Everything's been paid for. Not paid for, sorry, has been signed for. She says, honestly, I was a little bit distracted yesterday, and I didn't have enough time to look over the rest of the paperwork and get it all signed. This is a matter that I could attend to tomorrow. Tomorrow is when we were hoping to have the assets moved from the one account to the other so we can get things started shortly afterwards.
Do I know what he's talking about?
Not at all.
Okay.
So having things approved beforehand would be most beneficial. Even this late in the day, I can get things taken care of. And she's like, very well then. Come by my estates this evening. 2 hours after the gala here and it finishes, I'll have paperwork done. You and my sister can get off of my back and I'll be taken care of. He says, thank you. You haven't looked yet, he says, gesturing towards the gift that she's opening. And she does open it up, and truth be told, he does have good taste. He bought a pair of earrings that, okay, Josh, that's horrible. Stop, Josh. God, you ruined everything. God. She says, the truth be told, looking at it, Chris Ellen, you can see that the earrings that he picked out actually would go very, very well with the outfit she's wearing right now. I mean, just the way that you had chosen a color beforehand, so on and so forth. Just the way that they fall, they complement her face in a nice way, and the way that they, the coloration that designs them would complement the style that she's wearing. It's one of those things where either he's really good with fashion or he had some serious insight on what it was that she was wearing this evening.
I'm gonna give him one of these.
Well played. He says, would you like me to help you put them on? Whether or not that's a bit forward, that's up to Chrysalis to decide. And
I would like to look at her face and see how comfortable she is with that.
She'll actually, it's funny, you look at her face, she turns to you and she says, she gives you a look like looking out of the earrings and looking at you like your opinion. She didn't see your face before.
I kind of put my shoulder to him and
all right, cool. And she says, I don't need the assistance, but I will actually wear them now. They are a delightful gift. Hold on just a moment, Tristan, she says, as she removes her first earring and places the new one in, and the second one, placing the new one in. She puts them gently back into the box and she closes it up and says, if perhaps you can put this onto the table where the rest of the gifts are going, I would appreciate that and a little bit of privacy. And he says, no, of course, I understand. And thank you so much for allowing me to speak to you for a couple of moments. I hope my brevity was noticed. And she smiles and gives a little bit of a nod. He takes the box.
Less by the moment, sir.
he gives like a as he looks at you and turns and walks off. Doxy, roll an insight check or whatever it's called in the system. Empathy check.
I'm happy with that.
His personality came off as a little plastic, but probably because he's not used to having to be playful or flirty. You think he's probably something that's a little bit socially awkward, and he was like playing it up hard for the moment, right?
I'm gonna look at her and say, "What an Oscar!"
You see, that's nice. She'll actually chuckle and say, "Well, not everybody in a family can have the charm. Honestly, the Corvains can be a thorn in the side.
Your brother?
Oh, you say what?
Your kin.
She shakes her head. She says, "No, that's Tristan Corvain. They're a lesser noble family. They've certainly done their parts to serve the country. However, it's a pity what happened to their youngest. But you know,
We have a lot of gossiping to do later.
indeed.
I do hope you won't be tied up for your post-party relaxation.
I don't know. Tying up in post does not necessarily sound wrong right about now. She'll say, and kind of like look back towards the bar where you had left your drinks.
Duly noted. And I'll just lead her that way.
So the two of you start walking in that direction. So obviously your drinks have already been cleared away long ago, and so they pour you new ones. The evening continues to pass on, and we're going to pull the attention from you down to these two boys. Gentlemen, you're down there, and Josh, you wanted to do something really quickly, but I'm not sure if that's something you're going to be able to pull off without him knowing, or do you not care if he knows?
I don't care if he knows. He knows
Okay, cool.
that I'm crazy.
Take over then.
So I'm gonna look at Oscar. I'm just Lazo will just go. Give me a moment. I'm gonna try to think of the possibilities that could be affecting us. Hold on a second. And I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm gonna just kind of, I guess, I'll be whispering, but you know, kind of not to you, but into like the void, right? And he's gonna ask for aid from someone that has a deep knowledge of the arcane. I'm not sure if I would think illusion, Scott, like with memory stuff, or planar with time stuff. I don't know, because I wouldn't know either of those schools.
No. So memory stuff would actually be enchantment technically, and time stuff would be
I could do
a
that.
non-existent school that you know of.
Yeah. Like I know of it. I've never studied it, right? I'm gonna think. I'll ask about. I need help from someone that knows about affecting people's memories or perception of time. And then
Saying
I
this
have
to
to
you,
do
Oscar.
Intelligence. Yeah,
Just
I
be
like,
clear.
but my eyes are closed. Well, you can't tell because I'm wearing goggles. So,
I mean, I can't help you with that. I don't know what you're.
Shh.
All right.
Just it's just a straight intelligence check. If we are doing arcana enchantment, I would get my boost. Are we doing that, or do you just a flat intelligence roll?
Flat intelligence roll,
Okay.
because that's how you activate it, right?
Oh, I fail. All right.
Okay. So
It's
how do you
13,
tell us how it is that you try to activate the ability?
He just closes his eyes and kind of wishes upon it. Like he doesn't understand how this works. So he just kind of closes his eyes and wishes upon it, but he's very awkward about it because Oscar's right there. And this is the first time he's ever tried to do it in front of somebody. And he's just like, please, help, come to me. He just keeps saying weird shit. And he looks at it, and then I'll look at Oscar and I'll be like, it's not working.
What does it do precisely?
Summon a ghost?
Only time I've ever seen anyone summon anything, it was using circles and magics, and I had to kill them before they actually succeeded. So I don't actually know the final steps, but none of it involves asking specifically for a type of person who knew how to do a specific thing. How are you doing that? And did it work?
No. I don't know. I've never done it. Maybe I can't do it with people around.
Do you want me to
No, because it
step
happened
outside the-
before.
you want me to step outside the cart for a minute? Like, do you need a moment?
No, I don't think it's you.
Anxious?
I think it's me. It's not you. It's me.
Right.
Um,
I mean, look, it happens to all men of your age at some point or another.
okay.
You know, and
You know,
look, what are you trying to do though? Not, I don't mean summon a ghost. Obviously, summon a ghost.
I'm trying to think of what could be affecting our memories or perception of time. I was gonna see if there was insight from the beyond. I don't know how it works. It just happens when I ask or think about it. Sometimes it happens when I don't even ask directly. It just, like that one time with the, and I would point to your tattoo, your new, or the thing on your neck. That just happened.
Well, then maybe when
I'll
you're
have to
supposed to know, it will just happen.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
maybe you're right.
What can we
Or-
do in terms of okay, you said time isn't affected by magic, right? That's what you said before.
Time doesn't affect magic. Not as far as I know. That would be some extremely high level things.
Right. And you've never heard of anything like that from the Congress at this point. I've certainly
No.
never heard of anything like that in Amulta, but not like any of the mages would actually, take the time to talk to a Venator about the types of magics that they do, protect their own and all. But
I've heard of abilities to speed people up, but that's an individual, not time.
It's not time, and it's not large groups and swaths of people who are seemingly having their... Look, this is beyond me, but what I'm getting at is if you're not aware of any magic, I'm not aware of any magic, who would be? I know, yes, maybe a ghost, but think about those who are living.
Lady Arceum, Chrysalin said she was in there.
Okay.
I assume Chrysalin's going to speak to her. If not, we should keep an eye out. Maybe we can catch her when she's leaving.
Fair enough. If she doesn't know anything about it, then maybe try speaking to a ghost again.
The Arcane Congress. This is the kind of stuff that the peacekeepers are supposed to protect against. Large-scale infractions against magic.
Is this an infraction against magic, or is this...
If it's affecting this large amount of people, it's truly powerful.
Right, but is it magic?
I wouldn't know. This could be a whole new level that they don't teach. They keep a lot of secrets to prevent this kind of stuff from happening. Let's just keep an eye out for Lady RCM at this point, and maybe we could try to find a place.
If Chrysalin reached out to the Congress for you already, which I assume she has, she's very clever about that kind of thing. When are you meeting them? Where are you meeting them?
Oh, I figured they would just tell her a place that they could arrange, like a time.
That makes sense.
Well,
hopefully, she took the time to speak with them and, arrange that. But if by chance,
if
didn't,
not,
then
I'm sure they'll let her if they're interested.
Well, they'll know how to reach out, I'm sure.
Don't say that.
They're familiar with you now.
I've been able to block their perceptions of me, any divination for quite a while. I wouldn't know how to turn that off. It kind of just happened when I entered Amulta. But worst case scenario, we can also just keep an eye out for when they leave. It'll be easy to spot them. It'll be clear. They'll wear the colors of their colleges.
Right.
Any fool could notice them.
You would be able to tell. Scott, we've talked about the Arcane Congress colleges before and how Oscar kind of has like a broad knowledge of the colleges, but doesn't necessarily know too many specifics.
Correct.
Yeah. So would he be able to identify the colors?
There are a couple colors you'd be able to identify. Yeah, a couple of them. If you saw them, you'd be like, oh, I know what this is because you've come across them before. You know.
Okay.
You're
Well,
technically all it means you're allowed actually a skill check, whereas most people aren't.
Yeah. So I might be able to recognize a few of the different colleges, but we're not trained specifically to identify the colleges. So I do know what you mean though by the colors.
Yes. Well, let me still try to think. I didn't arrange a time and a place. I figured that they would read the letter and let us know if they're even interested, Scott.
You did not. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember.
Yeah. Can I do an Arcana check then to see if I would know of anything that this powerful? Enchantment, not a. You said it was enchantment, right? For messing with memory and perceptions of time.
Sure. Yes. No, enchantment, specifically memory. Yes.
Okay. I'm rolling good, guys. Why didn't it? Oh, it did not. My focus. Okay.
So you what is it to say? So you have the focus for it, so on and so forth. You would know that there are spells that can alter people's memories, so on and so forth. Arcane Congress spells that do so. Modify memory is a spell that exists. Modify memory, the way that it works is you can affect up to 5 minutes at a time of somebody. It takes multiple castings, and that the effect is a permanent effect. Permanent is a very specific word. It means permanent until dispelled or disrupted, destroyed, right? So it's not an instantaneous effect, which means it's very real. It's already happened. Too bad. Deal with it. It means it is a permanent, ongoing, lingering effect. Now, with the right magics, you can even detect it happening. You've already done that trick on Oscar before, and you didn't see any lingering spell effects on him. So that would kind of push aside the option of at least that's what happened to him. Others,
I'll relay this to Oscar. Yeah, that it's most likely not memory. You're right. It would be obvious once I was able to check out your auras, and there would be more damage, permanent, some kind of permanent lasting mark on you.
I don't like
Plus,
being right.
The duration doesn't make sense either. It would be 5-minute intervals.
Yeah,
we're talking about
an entire
days.
Play apparently, and then here we're talking about almost a week. This isn't magic.
It's best we keep an eye out. It's magic. I swear to it, it's magic.
Well,
we just don't know what magic.
Fair enough. All right, fair enough. But what I meant by that is it's not known magics then. At least not that we're aware of. Guess that's how all magic is anyways. Kind of an irrelevant statement now.
Until someone finds it out.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, let's just keep an eye out
I'm gonna
for
keep
anyone we might want to talk to. Yeah.
Exactly. I'll keep an eye out in the direction of where people are. Actually, can we see the entrance and exit position from here? Or because we're like, I'm assuming we're on the side.
You're like just around a corner, so and on the side, as you just said. So no, but if people are starting to make their way out, you could hear like an increase of, even though it's pouring out, even though over the sound of the rain, enough people start exiting the building, you would know. You know what I mean? So,
Oscar, I think it's best if I go watch the entrance. I'm less.
You're less noticeable than I am.
Yes.
Yes, I know. I'll watch the carriage. At least I'm not going to be getting my ass kicked at cards.
If something happens to me, I'll cast a light over my head in the color of red. You should be able to see a glow of red. Unless you prefer a different color.
No, red is fine. When I see red, I'll come ready.
Okay. And I'm gonna head to try to find a spot to just watch the entrance and stay out of sight. You know, so stealth, I'm assuming.
Sure. Sure.
I'm rolling so well. All right, 12. I'm on Josh rolls today, guys.
You could luck it.
I don't think it would make a big difference to you.
I mean, goes up to a 13 no matter what. That's one challenge category up.
All right, fine.
Well, now it's a 16, which is
16.
much better.
That's a
Okay.
really good result.
You know
Would
my
this
motto,
be role
Josh.
playing or
The
exploration?
fuck it, luck it.
I mean,
baby.
honestly, it's stealth. You know, like really, I guess
Okay,
exploration
so degrees
because
of
you're trying
success.
to, yeah. Exploration, if anything, because you're trying to, witness or whatever, right? Just double checking something.
I mean, I would do speedy search then. It'd take half the time as normal it would take otherwise. So like, I try to do it as fast as possible
Perfect.
to not
Okay,
be
cool.
noticed.
And you're watching for, of course, the AC peoples and whatnot.
And Lady Arcane.
AC or Lady RCM,
Yep.
one of the two.
Okay. No problem. At some point in time, later on in the day, you would actually have, so as the party kind of goes on for a while, some people would filter their way out, people that just happen to be leaving early, whatever the case may be, blah, 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 blah. At one point, though, you would actually see two members of the Arcane Congress actually walking out. They'd be walking out to the front foyer or entrance area, whatever you want to call it, specifically with Lady Arceum. It would actually, all three of them would be coming down into the front area and having a conversation with one another. They would conclude their conversation after maybe like 2.5, 3 minutes or so, with a little bit of a handshake.
I would walk up to him.
This is in the front entrancey area.
Oh, not outside, not at the exit. Okay.
It's just inside. So
Okay.
they talk for, again, it's maybe 2.5 minutes, shake hands, and then she goes inside and they walk out. The two AC people walk out.
I will approach them
Sure.
with the cloak ability up.
Sure, so the rain's not like falling on you, sort of a thing?
Yeah.
Or, okay. So you approach them. Sure.
And
Oh, let me
I
get
will
my
make myself
gnome face
known.
on. Oh no, I did the thing where
Right, so you're blurrier. So when you're gnome, you're blurrier.
No,
Okay.
it does this thing where if you I don't know what does it, but sometimes instead of doing zoom in or out, what it does instead is it changes the focus as you spin the thing. I don't know why yet, because I'm not used to playing with this, but that's what I wanted. Okay. Let's all check out those calves for a second. Hey boyo. So the gnomes, as you walk up to them. Hi there.
Oh.
No, they don't actually have
Greetings.
those voices. Hey there.
Yeah. Can I tell what schools they are?
Yes, you
Are they
can.
wearing colors?
Almost immediately, you can tell that one of them is a hard folk. Oh, let me actually pull up something. Shit, I should have had this up beforehand. Give me 2 seconds. Make sure I have this right. One second. I need, not you. I need, are they uncommon races? Or is that common races? I think it might be common. Check. Nope, here we go. So one of them is a focus on enchantment, and one is a focus on enchantment and illusion. The other is actually a focus on enchantment and abjuration.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So both from my former college.
Mm-hmm. So you're walking up and
How-
just quick looking at them, you can tell that one of them is probably actually about your age. The other one is much, much younger. The abjuration and enchantment one, much, much younger. Anyways, so they walk up and they look at you. You say hello, like, hey there.
I'll actually nod and I'll say, can I tell rank? Do they have a different look to them, or they're just dress clothes? So.
So you can tell that the older one, the one's about your age, is definitely a savant, which is the tier that can hit just above 4th level spells. The other one is going to be that like lower tier. So I can get that.
I'll look to the savant, and I'll say, "Greetings, Master Enchanter. I'm Laszlo Hennigar."
Savant adroit is the other one. So you say savant, enchanter, master enchanter, whatever it is. So they say, you said I'm what?
Laszlo Hennigar.
Laszlo. And the one goes, oh, that's the one with the, and the younger one says, and the older one chiming in goes, I know who it is. And looks at you and says, It's some balls in you being here.
You're in my country now.
It's funny how the line is drawn around Hecatsia. Some would argue one way, some would argue the other. You wanted to
I'm
talk?
not here to fight, or yes. Is there a time that you would like to speak so we'd be more comfortable?
You've already ambushed me once.
If I wanted to ambush you, you wouldn't see it coming.
Funny enough, I didn't.
My apologies. I don't mean to be... I'm sorry. I haven't had nice interactions with my former life. I apologize. I am...
Josh? Josh?
Meeting you like
Where'd you
this.
Where'd you go? Yeah.
Am I still gone?
Oh man,
Hello.
the delay is bad. It's like, still gone? Like I see you talk and then I hear you, like by the time you're done talking, I start hearing the voice.
I'm sorry.
Maybe turn off your camera for 2 seconds and turn it back on.
Oh
It's
God,
like-
it won't reconnect.
Say something?
Hi.
Yeah, there we go. That's
Okay, I
better.
think we're
I
good.
did.
Yeah.
Oh God, nope.
Okay. No, it's super delayed.
Yeah, it's bad.
Aw.
Well, I mean, maybe this
I'm
is
just
awesome
gonna-
timing.
I'm just gonna listen to your voice and not look at your face. So that way I don't get distracted.
No.
I'll get distracted if
All
I
right.
do. So
All right.
going back to you. So you said, what was it? I haven't had with the you already did. Sorry, I haven't had good interactions with my past life. And then you were saying something else. What was it, Josh?
The only reason I ambushed you at this point is because I feel like there's a danger, a threat to magic, or this area at this moment.
What threat are you referring to?
It would seem a large amount of people are misremembering events, almost as if they lost or are out of place in time.
Roll a empathy check. With a 15, are you happy with that?
Yeah,
I thought you were the dice whore.
I am, but even if he doesn't believe me, there's not much I can do about it.
Empathy is you whether
I
or
don't
not.
want to. I feel like it,
Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. Cool. So, with a 15, you can actually you get nothing off of him, the one that's immediately in front of you. However, the adroit, the younger one, it's with him, it's accompanying him. You get kind of a reaction, like he kind of like almost like he, as you're saying that exact line, he looks to the savant for a moment, like looking for a retaliation, and when he sees the savant shows no reaction or anything like that whatsoever, he just kind of like looks back over at you, you know. I don't know if you say or do anything, or you just wait until he responds.
I wait for his response. Yeah.
He says, if there's any change in memory happening to the people here, I'm not sure it's something that can be stopped or changed. They don't exactly know how to use magics properly anyways. Unless, of course, they wanted to invite or hire somebody of the Congress to handle such stuff for them. But if that was the case, then I imagine whatever actions were taking place would have been requested in the first place. It's a place to be.
I don't believe anyone else has noticed at this point.
Well, it's a good thing they have their dog on such a tight leash. Sniff out things for them.
It's a pleasure, then, meeting you. I see my kind can be as arrogant as always.
I know about how many of our kind died because of your actions that day. Before you left. I don't know what's wrong with you, but you killed so many. So many.
I did, but not of our kind.
Sure.
I was ordered to do that for the Sill.
Sure. I don't know what it was that you did, but I know there are a lot of people that received notice of their lost loved ones because of you.
I was ordered to use evocation magic on an item that I was given from my superiors.
I'm not sure what lies you're looking to twist, but I'm not listening to them. You're not going to alter my memory. And just so we have an understanding, this will be reported to Josen.
I understand. I was also closed-minded once too. I hope you have a great night.
My night's already over. I imagine yours might just be beginning. Good luck. And he does not move. Still stands there. You can tell he does not intend to turn his back to somebody who supposedly believes that you killed a lot of your own kind.
I'll walk away from him.
You turn, you walk away.
I'll head to the carriage.
They watch after you, not the whole way. They watch after you till like a good, like 20 meters or so away, and then they'll start, walking away themselves.
I'll open the door and I'll look at Oscar and say, you might want to prepare for battle. I think I might have just alerted the entire AC to our exact location, and they may be sending a strike force for us.
How many?
I don't know. I was just given a very vague threat.
Josen?
That name came up, yes.
We're not ready for him.
I think it's best if you go to the room. I'll take the carriage to the other room that we're staying at.
Nope. We're sticking together. You've made yourself known to Arcane Congress in a city that they have more control over than anyone should ever think that they have in Amulta. They can see you.
Yeah.
We're not splitting up.
Okay. Maybe we should tell Chris Ellen.
We should definitely tell Chris Ellen, yes. That would be smart. Oh, she's going to be so upset.
I'm sorry. I thought maybe
No.
someone would listen.
You are going to do nothing but what you need to do in any given circumstance. The reason she's going to be upset is not because of you. It is going to be because her night is going to get interrupted. And if what you said is true about her...
Pardon me.
The whole, oh.
You hear from a voice outside the carriage, not far off from where you're standing, Laszlo, because you can easily still stand outside. Don't get wet. Pardon me. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
You look to the side and you see a Hafue woman. She's dressed like she was at the gala, standing there, getting completely drenched. She's like, apparently my carriage did not come when it was supposed to. do you mind doing me a small favor? Could you please give me a ride to my home, to my estate? As there's like a pause, she's like, it's awfully cold and wet out here. Please.
Oscar will actually step out of the carriage at this point. And
you see a Hafue woman standing there. You can clearly tell she's a Hafue because of her facial features, so on and so forth. But also, her hair is like a deep, deep purple with pink and light blue highlights going through it, much like you'd imagine a My Little Pony mane to be, right? You can also see that her face features itself look, again, you can clearly tell she's a Hafue, but her cheekbones are higher than anything you've ever seen another person naturally have beforehand. And or just like the way her whole face is like morphed, it almost looks extremely Fae-like, very, very Fae-like. A term that I'm using out of game, but in game, your character wouldn't necessarily know what a Fae is, right? Yeah. So anyways, she looks, no other way to phrase it, cute. You know what I mean? Not small and helpless, you know?
Oscar pops out the umbrella first and foremost and puts it over her, just, to start.
She's like, thank you. She says she steps very close to you. It's one of those things where, because the way the coverage of an umbrella works, it's better coverage up high, but not so much down low. And Oscar's tall and she's short. And while I understand he's sacrificing for her, she
Oscar
says step very close
literally
to him.
puts it so that it is like his head is outside of the umbrella at this
But
point.
to be like underneath the middle of it,
like he can't see her right now. Like that's how much he's doing. He's putting it as low as possible so that it's basically just. Then
you would just feel her presence being that close as opposed to seeing it. The Laszlo would see the problem, of course. Yeah.
And he would say,
"Thank you." She says. She steps forward.
Of course. Which way is your estate?
She says, honestly, it's not far from here at all. About 12 or 13 blocks that way, and then down another 2 from there. It's awful out here, and my carriage never arrived.
Well, I certainly understand that. I unfortunately must insist that our carriage might not be the safest journey, as we're heading into potentially a bit of a dangerous situation immediately after this. Though I would love to help you, I would actually suggest that maybe we walk you back to the entrance there and see if they can call another carriage for you. Just because I worry that we would be putting you in danger, and I can't bring myself to do that to someone.
You're not going to bring me to my estate? Oh, sorry. I thought these are a couple of gentlemen here. My mistake.
I apologize, but it would be extremely ungentlemanly of me to bring you into a situation of danger.
I look at her.
Yep.
And I make sure that she's looking at me, and I take my goggles off, and I want to watch her reaction.
Okay, you take your goggles off. Roll me a perception check, sir.
Empathy or just straight? Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't have either.
Okay.
16.
That's actually really good. This is let me look real quick at what your stunt options are.
Object of my attention. I think she's an Arcane Congress person trying to pull a fast one on us.
No, I'm actually going to say speedy and efficient search is most likely where you want to go with this one. So I'm just going to enforce those on you because you don't know what's happening, of course. You realize before she even does it, as soon as you take your goggles off and she sees that things aren't as they seem here, she very quickly makes a flourishing kind of motion where she grabs something metallic from inside of a sleeve, and she turns it to Oscar. Due to Oscar's inability to see her because of how he's stated the umbrella being set, and due to her positioning being extremely close to his thigh, she very quickly uses her arm to reach around from behind and place the tip of the blade down at the base of his scrotum. She puts him at a very disadvantaged, herself in a very advantageous position. But Laszlo can see this happening as it happens and can make an action or reaction just as it goes.
I would like to do this. I would like to cast a spell on her.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. As she's doing it, you got to do something. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just copy and paste it in there, so you don't have to open the sheet.
You really gotta make some sort of you gotta make macros for your spells to make it easy for you.
Well, I'm glad I didn't, because they changed the thing. So, because watch, it doesn't roll. It just does the success. 19.
Cool.
So I succeed on casting it.
But they have to make a willpower test, right?
Yep.
Against what's your spell power? It doesn't say here.
My spell power is 14.
Okay, cool. 3d6.
You got a stump point.
Jesus.
Daddy dice it.
Why? You told me it's a 14. I rolled my
So, go
first
ahead.
roll in like 3 sessions and I rolled shit. Come
Hey,
on, man.
But you could throw a daddy dice at it. Why not? Right?
Yeah, why
The
not?
test fails. The target is -2 to all tests and moves at half speed. The target disoriented can make a new will save at each turn. Blah blah blah. Jesus Christ. All right, whatever. So she has the blade to the tip of it, but as she does so, it kind of like throws her off. She expected to have the tip of the blade to the scrotum, but being thrown off, she actually has it, very uncomfortably positioned, but maybe not as well precisely placed as she anticipated doing. This also, you quickly casting a spell, him feeling the motion and the jab. Oscar kind of like pulls into it. She's a little disoriented, but does respond verbally saying, "Oh, the two of you in the carriage now."
I look to Oscar and go, she's much weaker than she seems right now.
Do I have a chance to do anything here?
Try.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and grab her. And pick her up.
Sure. Make the what's that? What did we say? There's a grapple, I think, under strength or something. What's it under? We found it before.
There's brawling under accuracy, but that's like punching. This would I'm not sure what this would be.
I think brawling is actually, we discussed this beforehand. Brawling was actually what it's supposed to be for grapples. Because we came across this once before and we realized we were doing it.
Such a weird thing because it feels like this, like for anything that's like, I don't know. That's fine. At any rate, brawling.
I guess I'm thinking martial arts accuracy.
Yeah, and I get it. So it's a 12. I am probably going to like that. If we got him, we don't.
Oh.
So that's a 12. She has a -2 to the test, whatever she does here.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have a -2, so I only have, this is a modifier.
And she's tiny. She can't move fast.
Yeah, she's still faster.
So you try to grab at her, but she takes like a quick step to the side. It's one of those things where you kind of like move in such a way to grab her, but you just can't see where she is. So you're kind of like moving slap the umbrella to the side. You just reach down to grab at her. She sweeps out from where she is beforehand. Once again, kind of steps up and places the tip of the blade right at like the base of your belly, like right where your appendix would be. Where like an appendix scar would be. She has it sitting right there and says, "Don't make me hurt you. Carriage now." Ugh. And I'm going to make another test to try to remove the other power.
She has -2.
I have a -2, so
Yeah.
a 9 and it's a 14 I have to beat. I don't think I get any bonuses to this as I do. Nope. Okay.
I mean, I'm not going in the carriage right now.
Yeah,
Like
I'm gonna look.
I'm pretty clearly not.
Okay.
moving.
If you're clearly not going to go into the carriage, then she's actually going to take an action as opposed to the reaction right there. So with her action, she is actually going to, funny enough, I have to roll these garbage rolls. She's going to slide away from where she, and I just want to guarantee that I'm going to be successful with this. Woo, hello. That's a sexy roll. So she's actually going to step away from where she has the blade positions at the lower belly of Oscar there. And she's actually going to kind of do a quick step and slide around to go over to where Laszlo is standing just by the doorway to the cart where he was there, and literally just kind of like do like a step underneath and behind him and place the blade over and next to his throat and say, "You need words to cast spells. Don't make me take them. Back in with me now."
I'm just going to look at Oscar and I'll let him decide. I trust him.
And you guys see how big my pool is and go,
I'm not worried.
"That
I
loves
just
me more."
begun, Scott. You gave me the new spells.
I mean, I'm not getting in that carriage. This is abduction 101. Don't go to location number 2. So that's not happening.
Oscar actually says that.
Yeah, no, Oscar just says, yeah, that's not happening. And he's gonna whip the spear out.
I got stunt dice on that.
You did.
I didn't realize that because I the way I roll, I didn't realize that. I'm so sorry. I'm actually gonna use that to. 1 second.
Yep.
Oh, you know what I can do? I'm gonna use that to see. No. Seize the initiative. Meaning I actually get to
Go first.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna roll for initiative right now, right?
Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want us to throw tokens on or anything like that?
Give me 1 second. I'm on the wrong page for this. Okay, there you go. You should be good. Click your token, try doing the whole thing, blah, blah, blah.
We can't see our tokens.
Yeah, okay, good. I thought my internet.
Yeah, no, we're not on the right map yet.
Top left-hand corner, right? Oh,
we're on the same map.
I forget. You guys are separate from the from my other thing.
Okay.
Do I have it? I don't have a token there.
Shouldn't you?
Nope. Mine appears to be deleted.
That's weird. Yeah, that's really weird. Where are you? Your name is Oscar. Paste. Whatever. That works.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh, you know why yours was deleted? If yours was an image that was created versus one that was taken directly after Roll20, I deleted all images that aren't for Roll20. Any artwork that wasn't made by me or paid for or whatever it was, I removed all of it from the everything. So, and I didn't roll mine yet. Unfortunately, I still have a minus.
They just go above. They give first. You just give them 15.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So she just goes first. That's right.
Yeah.
Meaning she gets to act first. She's gonna roll that same check again to pull you into the cart so that you're inside of it. And then I'm gonna say something immediately afterwards. So I only get a +2 for this, same as last time. I rolled garbage. So you're gonna want to try to counter this.
Jesus, another 4.
What would the counter be? Strength, dexterity,
brawling, same thing.
Brawling, so accuracy.
Yep.
13. Yeah.
So you're able to counter and not get pulled into the cart. But what she says to you as she goes to pull you into the cart, what she says to you is, if the guards get involved, you will not be happy.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
I'll look to her and go, let's just have a discussion right here. Going into a closed space with a person that obviously is lethal is not a smart idea.
Going into a closed space means that others aren't listening. I don't know how many of you there are.
I'll actually nod, because that's a very valid point, and I'll step in the cart.
Okay. So because of your counter, you're able to stop her from pulling you into the cart. But do you try to like back in with her, like you stay submissive to her, or do you try to like, no, get off? I'm just gonna go in. Like, how do you try to do this?
I'll just walk in, like I can do this on my own power, kind of thing, just to make a point of it, like,
sure.
Like you're not in control of the situation right now.
Okay. She has to understand that that's what you're intentionally trying to do. So I have to roll an insight check to realize that. Because if I roll poorly, I might react poorly.
Do you want communication?
No. I have to roll because you're being pretty plain. So I have to roll to see whether or not she'd get that. But she's good at these things. It's just she has a friggin' -2 on everything right now. Oh, her turn passed.
She could have checked. Yeah, she could have done
her turn
check.
passed. Let me roll that first.
She passes.
14 is exactly what she needed.
Yeah.
That includes the -2.
The players. You give it to players, don't you? When it's a tie.
No, because
it's the DC. It's a DC.
Yeah. So that now she's going to do her try to read you. This is the normal roll. Oh Jesus! She knows exactly what you're doing. So she lets you go in. She lets you go in, and as she's like doing this empathy check, she's actually looking not only at you and understanding that you're not dropping your guard, but you do have your interest piqued and you're willing to play ball for now. She also turns her empathy check over to you, Oscar, to see whether or not you look like you're going to continue fighting.
Oscar flips the spear upright
Okay.
and then goes and picks up the umbrella and shakes it off and just looks annoyed. She's reading annoyance off of him right now, just like mild annoyance.
Mostly compliance. That's the important thing.
He pops the umbrella down and then hands it to her and says, "Would you mind?"
She steps out of the way for you to step in.
Thank you. And he steps in, places the umbrella in the holder inside, and then sits down kind of awkwardly, spear up, kind of off to the side.
She takes her first couple steps into the cart, but like looking at you guys, judging you, making sure that you aren't going to act out of turn. As I said, she's dressed for the gala. So she's wearing quite the gown because, you know, there's heavy, but heavy gown sopping wet is not really good in tight spaces. She's no idiot. So almost immediately as she goes inside there, she cuts the back of the dress and slips it off. She's there inside her underslip. And she kicks off the dress in her underslip. She goes over and hops up onto the seat. Much more comfortable than she was before, and also far less wet since she took all those protective layers off of her. Anyways, she hops up on the seat and says, "Who are you, and why have you been sitting outside this gala for so long?"
Oh. Well, this is entertaining. My name's Oscar McLaughlin, Master Venator. The Maltese military, but I'm
hold on. You're a Master Venator.
Yes.
Do you have any documentation to prove that you are?
Yes. And he'll pull out whatever his ID is for that, and his military ID.
Okay.
He'll hold it. He doesn't let it go. That's an important note. He holds it for her, but like plainly, but like he's very clearly not handing it to her.
So it's one of those things. She reaches for it, and when it's that interaction happens, she like looks a little annoyed, but hops off of her seat because she's small.
Well, no, he'll lean all the way across.
Okay,
like this, he's a big guy. He can lean across the carriage to show her.
So
like he's even putting himself in a slightly vulnerable position. He's just not letting go of his ID.
And I was gonna say the fact that she's not able to take it and comfortably lean back, she still has the dagger in her other hand. She actually, you can tell just that her positioning everything. If she needed to lunge with that dagger or axe, she will. But she has one hand placed on the thing to hold it steady, so she can look it over easily. And the other hand positioned to strike with the dagger if she needs to. She looks it over, and she's going to confirm that it is real. And then she leans back and goes, "My apologies, Venator. I did not realize that you were stationed here.
I'm not.
Might I ask why? You're not."
Not stationed here. Passing through. We're on royal business.
You're not here causing issues with the Congress, are you?
No. I'm aware that the Congress was present. That's why I stayed away. We had a question for them, specifically around an occurrence, magical occurrence that we believe was taking place. Some time lost or forgotten.
But she seems like you're saying it something that might interest her, but it's not important to the matter at hand. And so she says, "And why are you here?"
Trying to get a little bit more favor. He looks over at the gala and says, "One of our companions is, well, working to read the room for court. Because we have a report to give. We need to know what we're walking into. Just as much information in politics, unfortunately, as there is in battle." Now, may I ask who you are?
Who I am is not very important.
Well, roll then.
Yeah, I was actually hired by the Preclarum to keep an eye on matters inside the gala, and I happened to notice this was conveniently positioned, not too far outside the ladies' bathroom. I also noticed the occasional looks up towards it.
In case our friend needed to make a hasty escape from some horrible event that took place, obviously with myself being here, I am one to take precautions, especially around the Congress. I am sure you can understand, given my disposition and my role.
Oscar, we should be honest, in case things turn sour. I'm wanted by the Congress, and when I spoke to them, they gave me a slight threat. That's why you saw me rush back to the carriage immediately.
By slight threat, we mean quite a prominent one, which is why I mentioned that when we take the carriage, we are very likely going directly into danger. That wasn't meant as dishonesty when I told you that before.
I cannot give much information because it's not my information to give, but I'm willing to share this with you. The Arcane Congress was invited here for a very specific reason. That reason has played its course, and the Arcane Congress is no longer invited here. They are meant to leave. This is a Maltese soil as much as the inhabitants would wish it to belong to its neighbors. So, they should not give you any issues. And if they did, it'd be all sorts of violations. It would cause more problems. We are not technically, she doesn't say we. She says Amulta is not technically at war with Eustace or the Arcane Congress. I don't think any parties involved would like that to happen.
I think that's reasonable, but there is a specific strike force that they may send, and I suspect that they wouldn't send it while we're in the city, but more when we're on the road back to Hepon.
I'll unbutton my shirt and show my Peacekeeper tattoo on my chest and say, trust me, I know more about them than you do.
She leans in. She actually will hop down at this point, and she'll walk up to look at it. She'll even like kind of grab your shirt and like open it up a little bit. Maybe it's intentional, maybe it's instinct, whatever it is, but it's like as she does so, it almost feels like a caress as she's opens up the shirt to give it a better look. And then she closes the thing, looks up at you and says, sent by the Crown. You're the gnome they've kept cooped up in there for a long time, aren't you?
Yes.
Huh. Oh. Your companion, a woman. Chrysalin's in town. I didn't know who either of you were, but I know at least of you. And I know Chrysalin has been given some strange tasks as of late. My most sincere of apologies. I am actually an acquaintance of Chrysalin's. We've worked together before. My name is Ava. Ava Obsidian.
It's nice to meet you, and it's always nice to meet one of Chrysalin's friends.
I wouldn't say that, but
Well,
pleasantries aside, we don't have much time if this is going to happen. Would you mind going in there informing Chrysalin that urgent things have turned sour? Just tell her I left the room.
Laszlo. Attire.
You did it so I didn't have to. Thank you.
Yeah.
As you say Laszlo, attire. She does step back and say,
I'll notice.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, right. Chrysalin probably has outfits here.
not my size, I imagine.
Yes, I run into that issue quite a lot too.
Well, if we know Chrysalin, she will be staying as long as is absolutely
Doxy, I wanna
necessary in
eat
order
your
to
cookie.
do her job. So I suspect.
Do you mind wearing a male's clothing? Chrysalin bought me recently a very nice outfit. Not a huge fan of it, but you could borrow it if you'd like.
She looks down at your belly and back up to you and says,
He's
"I don't
not
think I fit."
fat. Why do you guys think he's fat? he
Not.
doesn't eat. He doesn't eat.
Yeah,
I keep
he's
saying
literally
that.
skinny. He's way too skinny is the problem. She looks down at his belly. Oscar's like, "Oh yeah, no, right. Here, Laszlo, eat some rations, please."
I'm fine. Later.
She looks down at you and looks back up and says, "I don't think it would fit either. The proportions are all off."
Yeah. Since the Congress is all of the Congress gone from inside?
There were only 3 members that came. 2 of them have completed what they needed to, and the other one was somebody else's date.
They would be upset to see me, I'm sure. Although I'm not wearing my Venator garb right now, in order to be formal enough to go in there, I would have to.
Oh, no. Please don't misunderstand. The one that's a date, if he is an Arcane Congress member, he must be a newer Arcane Congress member. He's a Perrin from the East.
Oh.
Yeah, he's kind of an idiot, honestly. I wouldn't be too concerned. I tried to engage it a little bit of witty repartee, and he couldn't get over my height.
Oh, really?
Again, an idiot.
Just all right. Well, if I go in there and I have to smack him around a bit, I guess that's not the worst thing in the world. All right.
You cannot go in there.
I really want to.
We have the mission. That comes
I
first. This is a potential threat.
I know.
She just hopped back up on the seat and says, and crosses her legs, looking around, knowing that Chris must have good alcohol in here somewhere. Opening up a
Oscar
catch.
will reach under the seat and pass her one of the nice bottles, and if I
Give
see
her the
looking for
Luthera
alcohol-
one. Give her the Luthera one.
No, gonna give her one of the
Luther.
decently-
Luther,
Luther
sorry.
wine. Yeah, no, I mean realistically, he would actually offer his whiskey first, and it's he got rid of the mead. The mead is gone, but he still has the whiskey. So he might offer the cask of whiskey or pull out. Again, would Chris Ellen actually even carry Luther wine in this cart? Probably not.
Not right now. You guys don't need to at the moment. But
Yeah.
so you hand her beverage, and
Yeah.
she says she gives like an appreciative smile, which is again you can't describe her any other way but cute because of how she's been manicured to look. And as a reminder for everybody, Hafue are creatures that literally, as part of their transition into adulthood, they use permanent transmutation magics to alter their look to be very fae-like, including different strange colors, so on and so forth. Some of them literally will have purple or blue skin and whatnot, just because it's what they do as part of their culture. This one looks like she is probably not from that region. Her accent or whatever doesn't suggest she'd be from the actual forests where Hafui are generally found, the rainforests where Hafui are generally found, but at least has that flair of culture on her. Moving on. She gives you a bit of a smile that you can't describe as any other way of being cute, and she says, "So, popping the bottle open, what mission are you boys on?"
No. We know what you guys do. We know about the jewels and how you gather information and you use that information later.
We're not going to say too much, of course. But
Chris
what
is
we will
giving away all of her secrets, huh?
What we will say is that we've been asked to look into things. That's really it. That's why the swath of people, that's why a military man, that's why a former member of the Arcane Congress, and that's why a jewel. Various ways to get various pieces of information.
Oh, I get it. I understand. It's smart. It really is.
I'll put my goggles back on.
Well, as you put your goggles back on, bringing the attention back to that, she says, "That gave me a bit of a fright. What is wrong with your face?"
One of your kind decided to give me eyes.
My kind?
Hafui.
Are you confusing Hafui and Sil? Oh, no, the doctor. Gotcha.
Yep.
She nods and says, "Oh, as far as I understand my people, they don't usually use their things except on people that they hold in a very high regard."
I was once very important.
Oh. That feeling? Very well then. Looks like my welcome has already played its course.
Well, if you want to talk about anything except for our mission, you're of course welcome.
If you think you're going to be attacked, honestly, something like that is information that I could report back, maybe even earn a little bit of extra coin or favor with the agency. So I wouldn't mind, she gestures towards the table being dealt in. I really hope I'm walking into small blinds.
I've been getting my ass kicked all night. It might be nice to have an additional...
Better to have your ass kicked than your cock cut, she says, putting the dagger away.
True enough.
I apologize for casting a spell on you.
It's fine. It's not the first. It certainly won't be the last time. It's the life of a pyrite. We take the brunt of things.
For what it's worth, it was swift movement. It's well done.
She smiles, nods, and then expects her cards. You guys play.
Yeah. You were in.
I don't know if there's anything else you're hoping to get out of this.
No, I mean that's pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean nothing for me, but
I should sit at the carriage. I don't know where the rider person sits, wherever that's fucking called. I should sit there and keep an eye out. I still would like to speak with Lady RCM if we get a chance.
that's reasonable. But you won't be able to see her from where the driver sits.
I'll be able to see when people start leaving. I would not. I rather would. I don't want to miss a chance, and I also don't think it's safe for me to go too far on my own.
I agree.
I could do something, and I'll look at Ava, and I'll say, but that might make security anxious if I walk over and cast a spell in front of the place.
She shakes her head and says, I'm honestly not familiar with how the routine security works or whether or not they'd be able to detect something like that. I had a specific task and I did it.
I could place a sentinel, and when people start leaving, I can look through it and watch who's leaving.
You did do something by the front of the building. You might notice. If you watch.
Well, it doesn't have to be directly. It could be anywhere that sightline of the door.
Is there an alleyway that was passed at the crossroad? Because usually, like thinking about, it's perpendicular roads, right? So the thing was running down this road. We're on this road just around the corner. So realistically, if you just right around the corner, facing down the other way, you could put a sentinel down and look. Like have it.
It has to be within 3 yards of the door.
Oh, 3 yards? Jesus.
Yeah.
Man. That's not a lot of
It's
yards.
it's not as powerful as the
Yeah.
5e and the Pathfinder version.
No,
So-
remember
well,
we
that's
converted
fair
to
enough.
meters, so that gives you a little bit of extra room.
Oh yeah, so much.
I mean, 3
Hey,
meters
listen,
is still.
you ask
like,
most
that's-
people, they'll tell you 9 inches is a lot.
that's what? 3 meters is 12 feet, right? Basically.
It isn't. I'm sorry. I'll just sit in the front. I don't want to go and cause any more issues. And I'll look to.
And Laszlo has vanished from the cart.
Laszlo
Vera,
cast he used
it's
his
gonna-
ice magic, froze himself. You're back, don't worry. You're back.
No. Maybe?
No, you guys are going robot for me too.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Good,
yeah.
good, good.
Hey, sorry guys. I don't know. I guess this is the porn hour.
Why are you calling me out like that? This is why
Oh,
you
I should
call
close
me-
all these windows down. Sorry.
Jesus Christ, sorry, hold on.
It's like your entire apartment building's logged on to onlyfans.com/ZER0DOXY.
Actually, ZRO, I think, for my
ZRO.
OnlyFans.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so I'll go sit in the front where the rider, and I'll apologize to her again.
You have a bunch of
for
simps
casting-
flying out your front door like, what's it like to talk to her, man? And you're like, well, I am president of the simp club.
Amazing.
Oh, that'd be a really cool game to play, Simp City.
It's so wonderful. And sweet, and she smells so good all the time.
But you only talk to her through the internet. I know.
She sends me things. They start stealing your mail. All right, this is a weird fantasy realm we're going into. Let's keep going.
So,
Simp City is
Twitch
just Twitch gone.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
oh, no.
That's
my
really
God.
good.
That was so good. That was so good.
once Laszlo exits the cart, Oscar's gonna look over at Ava and just say, "So, Pyrite. Chrysalis told me the basics of how the jewels work, but that's what is that? Manual labor primarily. This
I mean,
doesn't.
you could say
seem-
manual labor, but it's more than manual labor. It's laborious tasks. Diamonds will enchant and dazzle and speak fun words, as you know, but we just get the job done. You know what I mean? So If my job is to go in there and watch somebody for a while, that's a pyrite. If my job is to be a waitress that brings out the food or whatever, that's the pyrite. My job is to just follow somebody for a while and report back what it is. That's a pyrite. You know, we get the job done.
Grunt work.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is well respected in the military.
It's funny enough that the members of the house, even if we were born of the bloodline and raised and live in Amulta, we're not technically considered Amultese citizens, and so therefore do not have to do the obligatory 2 years service. As a matter of fact, you get permission to sign up for service.
Would you ever?
Would I ever, or have I ever?
Either.
Ah, you're nice. Not asking a lady's age. Your mother deserves a nice bottle of wine.
Well, if you ever go up to the farms in the north, find her. Feel free to give her one.
She'll toss you a little wink, and she says, I do my service for the military from time to time, as stated.
But never served.
Didn't need to.
So then the question remains, would you ever?
No.
Why not?
The idea of somebody barking orders at me and me having to follow what it is, not being able to make my own decisions. One of the freedoms that comes along with being a Jew, especially when you're in a country like Amulta, is the freedom to say no. It's 2 years. To some people, 2 years is something that you're willing to sacrifice for the greater good of all around you. But that's still your 2 years. Precious and few, taken so young in your life. And you really don't know who you are as a person. You don't get those back. You can lie to yourself and say you built off of them to make yourself the person you became, but they made you that person. You didn't.
First 2 years I was in the military, I was in training. Non-stop training. They didn't even put me out on the field until year 3. They beat the shit out of me. They stabbed me. They cast numerous amounts of magic on me. Yeah, those 2 years I will never get back. But that's not everyone's experience. And some people get to go up north, get the cushy gig, as they will see it, most of them. For me, that's not what I was there for. You want to learn about the real side of the military that gives you freedom. Well, there's a few. You just have to make it through those 2 years. Those 2 years, yes, they are a waste. They are a pain in the ass. They are something that you never want to do, never want to do again. But if you make it through them, there are options, there are choices, there are lives you can live. Sounds like maybe something a little more similar than what you believe is happening with the jewels. Do you have a chance to grow? Got more than a pyrite?
She turns to Laszlo and says,
He's outside. He's out of the cart.
No, he's in the front part.
Oh, yeah.
So she'll turn to Laszlo and says, does his legs get tired standing up on that box?
I always thought it more of a horse, but yes, he means well.
She nods and says, I thought of a fun game we could play. Put away the coin, boys. Bring out the scars. Let's gamble. Let's gamble stories. I'm sure we all have more than a few to share.
It's the weirdest threesome ever, but okay.
All right.
And she'll grab the cards and shuffle them and start dealing out or whatever.
What are we playing?
She says something witty that I can't come up with.
Yeah.
So
Laszlo, no cheating.
Bomont. Just say it.
Here, let me roll for communications.
Oh, it's pretty funny. We got to do the fake laugh though.
Why couldn't he freeze during that? That would have been a nice time.
What, you want it?
You gotta make like a weird in between face, like a. I love when you pause a movie because like somebody's talking to you, so like you pause the movie and you look over, you finish the conversation, you look back and you're like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." Yeah.
You know, an editor saw that too because they go like frame by frame.
All right.
I imagine editors must clip those. Like must clip so many of those frames and they keep them at their house. Like you'd have to. You'd have to. Like if you think about what's her name, Dana? How many stills of Wade she must have? Just like really funny stills of Wade to pull out for when she needs them. Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have anything to worry about. He's been doing it for so long. There's already funny stills of him.
No. So anyways, Chrysallin.
Howdy.
The evening ends with her kind of engulfing and taking most of your time. You see people come and go and so on and so forth. You do see Lady Arceum kind of floating about the room inside there a good bit, but then you see the you don't really see the others afterwards that you had bumped into beforehand. But it's not a big deal because your attention is on her and hers is on you. The fact that you're at her side and the fact that other people are not leaving her the fluff alone makes her kind of appreciative that you're there. And even though you're not supposed to be her date, you more or less became it. The evening goes on to the point where eventually you leave. Jesus Christ, you leave the gala. Actually, you don't have to stay until the very end. She ducks out a little early, and asks you to leave with her.
I accompany her.
Okay. Of course, there's a carriage that waits to bring you to where it is that you're going, and the two of you would leave to head back to her estate. When she gets back to the estate, it's one of those things where they let you in and so on and so forth. Taxi here. Need a ride? Come on, girls. Anyways, so you bring her. She kind of goes inside. And as soon as she goes in, it's one of those like, oh, please help me loosen my corset.
And I would.
Yeah. And she could probably offer in kind. So I don't know if Chris is the kind of person that would need it loosened. I think she's the kind of person that likes it tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes with you and almost immediately will head upstairs back to the office that was said beforehand. If there's something to be said about Elise, it's not that she's forgetful or that she isn't studious, so on and so forth, right? She made a promise earlier and she's going to see it through. She goes and she heads immediately into the office. You can see that the painting that you probably didn't notice beforehand because you were having conversation with her has already moved to the spot that you two have discussed.
Cute. When she's done with that, when she's done signing stuff, I would say, you know, I forgot to give you your present.
She looks up from the paperwork that she's in the middle of like kind of like tucking to be put inside one of those like fold over heavy cardboardy kind of, you know, so it wouldn't get destroyed in the rain. She looks up and she says, oh, I thought I've already had your presents.
You've had my presents, but never my presents.
She'll kind of walk around the desk and half sit on it with her like hands, you know, behind her, half, you know, resting, whatever.
I hand her the lovely gift wrapped bag.
She'll open it up and it's not like the shop is going to put its sigil or anything like that on this. You would want something that's unmarked because that'd be tacky, right?
Right.
So for the record, I am definitely that husband that will, if they gift wrap something inside of a store, I leave it in there. Like Victoria's Secrets, thanks for the paper. You know, I'm talking about the toilet paper. Tissue paper. Yeah. Don't blow your nose on it. It's really rough.
Could have just let him scramble for another like 2 seconds to do the more.
Sorry.
No,
was it
but
triggering
no.
your ASMR?
A little bit.
So what is it? She takes it. She opens up the gift. And it's before she even finishes getting it open, she's like, "Oh, you didn't."
Oh, but I did.
She finishes opening to actually reveal the thing. She's like, "Oh, this aroma is absolutely." She'll actually grab it and she'll hold out. She grabs your wrist, holds out your arm, and puts a spray onto your wrist. You know what I mean? It's kind of like let it go there, and not even directly onto it, like a spray, and then like moves your wrist through it. And then she'll do one of those things where she brings your wrist up close to her face, where she can kind of like catch a scent of the aroma.
I would kind of twirl my fingers in her hair while she did that.
Yeah, and you can imagine that was kind of the first move that leads to the rest of the evening that the two of you girls have, right? Doxy, as is ritualistic for these evenings, there's a certain skill check you'd like to roll, I imagine?
On it. What the fuck?
You could even flirt. You could even flirt.
You can flirt with that.
Okay, yeah, I would actually. I would 1,000% flirt.
You know what? Advantageous positioning.
Flirting makes her more likely to become a like permanent romantic.
When
partner.
you flirt, you roll a seduction versus her self-discipline.
Yep.
Roll your seduction.
Is that communication?
It is.
It's okay. She has almost no self-discipline in this situation.
She has no self-control.
That's amazing.
So anyways, the two of you have a great evening. You know what I mean? It's a fantastic evening, so on and so forth. The two of them are of course left out in the rain. With how far behind Joey has said luck it, this whole stream, I think Joey's on Twitch mobile. I'm gonna guess. I guess it's always
my
gonna be an
internet.
half behind. Oh yeah.
Or he's hanging out with Josh. Yeah. It's one of the two. There isn't really.
Joey, are you under Josh's desk? Are you under Josh's desk? Is that what you're doing down there? You can't simp the simp, Joey.
He's. Don't even go there.
I'm not a sim.
Yep. Oh, anyways.
All right, when we're laying in bed after our pleasure has finished, and we're like just kind of holding each other, I would say, did you have a good birthday?
Yes and no. Though it has been getting better as the evenings rolled on. She says, and there's like a little bit of like an adjustment or like a half hug sort of a thing, you know, like a squeeze.
Mm-hmm. I imagine I'm like spooning her and
Yeah,
like caressing her.
That's kind of what was going on in my head, even though I didn't describe it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say, I knew you'd love that perfume.
She says there are a few aromas that she says there are a few aromas that I enjoy more. Though there is one now. She says, kind of like looking up towards the room.
I'm taken aback, but Christellen wouldn't be. She would say, my favorite. If only it could be bottled.
Oh. No, that might come off as a little too aggressive.
At any rate, I'm glad that your birthday's getting better. I have to make it weird now.
She says it can't be much weirder than my sister working as hard as she was the entire event. She had so many of her underlings around.
That is really a drag. Does she do that all the time?
Well, she runs the damn city and holds a considerable position with the Preclarum. So, unfortunately, always, non-stop. Even when we were dancing, I felt like I was being interviewed.
You must celebrate your next birthday in Ascaria. I'll help you host.
She actually looks at you and says, "This is the closest I can get to Ascaria for the celebration."
Why?
It's a part of my position. Being high nobility, it's only appropriate that it's enjoyed within your own. You're celebrating not only your own life, but your kingdom and what it is that you do for it and it does for you. To have an event in another nation would almost be an insult to the crown.
I think that's nonsense, but if you say so.
It's not my beliefs. I have more family in Ascaria than I do here. More friends in Ascaria than I do here, but nonetheless, I love my nation and respect my position, and will wield it the correct way.
Then perhaps we'll have a second celebration.
She'll actually kind of whisper in your ear and say, "Wouldn't be the first time I've had to do that." And she'll kind of lean back and say, "And Krilla will not be invited this time."
I was hoping you could do me a favor.
What's that?
I think that I would like to know her. Not the way that I know you.
I don't think she'd be interested in you anyways.
I'm wounded.
Don't be. You're just not her type. She likes them big, burly.
I'll introduce her to Oscar. Maybe
Honestly,
that will grant
Oscar
me
might be a
some-
little too scrawny for her tastes.
Interesting.
I mean-
She's just like a meat golem?
Yeah. She chuckles at your description. She says, "Yeah, I think so. I think she likes to not be able to wrap her arms around them."
I can't imagine. And I like squeeze her tight.
Yeah.
And I say, do you think that we could brunch or something tomorrow?
No. If the celebration ended, I'm going to have to head north soon. There's other matters I need to see to here, and then I need to head north.
Sometime then, maybe.
Besides, I'm sure the crown would be very much awaiting your arrival.
That's something that I wanted to talk about as well.
What about?
I think that something has happened in this city to tamper with people's memories.
I should bed chat. How so?
I know it sounds crazy, but of the other council members, I've spoken personally with Lady Nadia and Sir Ishmael, and neither of them recalled. One of those conversations went rather poorly, and I'm quite thankful that she doesn't remember, but the other one went very well.
I honestly don't know what to say to that. These matters aren't something I'm familiar with. If there's
Well,
some
you
sort
said that members of the Congress were here tonight. Yeah?
Yes, I saw them conversing with my sister.
Perhaps powerful ones that could tamper with memories.
Again, I'm not familiar with these kind of magics, but you do travel with one of their kind. Laszlo has had this training before.
Not quite like this.
Maybe he would know a little bit better.
I think I might need to talk to Lainey.
Well, Lady Arcium would also be better to get these kind of answers from than myself. I just simply say that because I don't really know much about this. Magic isn't something that I was trained in.
Another thing, I've already had council. I've already seen court. You were there.
Was I?
Yes.
Strange.
That's how I knew I liked you.
She smiles. What did we discuss?
I gave you a briefing of what's been happening in Yovance.
Like what?
Rogue camp.
Oh.
And I've been laying groundwork to maybe do something controversial.
When you say that, she'll actually kind of like give you a bit of a squeeze, like a hand squeeze as opposed to like a body squeeze, right?
Mhm.
And says, while I understand, please, not now.
That's fair. I'll kiss her.
Do you let it drop with that, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, so when you say you kiss her, it's like one of those, we're completely changing the subject.
Mhm.
Forget what I said until the future, but don't
You know
forget what I said.
Here we go.
Is it the same
I'm
exact-
tired from last time.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Perfect. All right, awesome. And then the evening goes. Boys, what do you do?
So anyway,
RCO.
this one is from a phase spider.
Yeah,
I'm
she
keeping an eye out for Lady Arceum.
keeps winning hands, just so you know.
Yeah, no, and I'm equally as annoyed as I was before when she was forcing us into the cart.
You
This
little
level
people.
of annoyance. This is the same level of annoyance that I was when we were going into the cart when I wasn't happy about it.
So anyways, you don't see Lady Arceum. Sorry. Not with the where
Alright.
you're sitting, where you're looking, so on and so forth. It just doesn't. You wouldn't be able to grab her.
All right. So when we get a good idea,
Like, the
that
evening is definitely
everything's
over.
over?
Yeah.
yeah, I'll jump back into the back and I'll look at Ava,
Ava.
Aviv,
Ava.
Ava,
It was Ava.
and I'll say, Ava,
Hmm.
what's it cost to have a pewter work
Computer.
for? What would it cost to have
Pyrite.
a pewter
Depends
jewel?
on the graphics
Pyrite,
card
pyrite,
and the
pyrite.
PC. No, sorry.
A pyrite accompany us for a few days.
Depends on what you're trying to get done.
I need you to act as a witness.
Oh, sweetie, you can't afford me.
You'd be surprised.
I think you would be too.
I just look amazed and be like, all right, now you sound like Chris Ellen.
She nods and
We
says,
need-
"Thanks."
We need a secondhand source. If we go back and things aren't different there like they are here, no one's going to believe what we're saying.
I mean, I'm having a hard time believing what you're saying myself, but honestly, I have duties to do here. I have things that I need to do here. Actually, I have things I need to do tomorrow. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to assist you. But if you need to come back and speak with me, or if you want to correspond via letter, I have no problem doing that. I like to believe that I've made a couple of new acquaintances.
You keep beating me at cards, and we may be taking that back, but
Oh, she says, "Oh, pish posh, come on. I've
Yeah,
taken
no,
the
I'm-
most interesting thing from you. Certainly your coin is not, you don't clean it," she says, like looking at the pile of coin on the table.
not as well as we should.
Wait, what? You clean coin?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it can get pretty dirty when it passes hands that many times. It's potential transfer of disease. This is basic stuff they teach you in the military, and I just honestly have not been adhering to it as much as I should.
All right. I
mean,
don't
it's
know how
mostly
we
my
could...
coin on the table there. I want to be clear about this. This is mostly my fault. Just to be clear. I've been losing
Well,
all
she'll
night.
need a new outfit. She'll need a new outfit. You were quite aggressive on cutting that off. I'll gesture to the sopping mess of a dress on the floor.
We can take you somewhere with the cart. That's fine. Carriage, I should say. Carriage.
Honestly, it doesn't mind. I don't mind. It's she says if you don't mind disposing of that for me, I would appreciate it. So I don't have to. I'll be fine. I don't mind walking in a little bit of rain. It'll be nice, and
Well,
it's late enough that I don't think anybody will bother me.
it also looks like our ward for the evening has gone somewhere else.
Oh,
Otherwise
Chris.
she would've
Takes her
been-
mission seriously.
She certainly does. So we actually don't technically have anything to do or anywhere to go, so we'd be happy to give you the ride if you'd like it. The offer stands.
Oh, well, in that case, I genuinely appreciate the offer. I was lying to you before because I figured I'd have to cut your balls off, but I'm glad that none of that had to happen, and you can just bring me to the house. Do you boys have a place to stay this evening?
2.
I'll point in the general direction of that place that's probably like 100 feet away.
Yeah.
And Oscar's gonna point to the one that's across town and be like, yeah, 2 of them.
Oh, she says, oh, if you're staying here, why don't we just leave the carriage here and go walk over there instead?
We can do that. If you'd like. That's fine.
Wait, don't you have somewhere to go?
I said I have things I need to do tomorrow, not this evening.
Oscar, you were just talking about a bar that you went to last night. You think they'd be open?
I look outside.
I could use some drinks.
Maybe. It might be.
I could use some drinks, especially since it would be a place that wouldn't be expected for me to be.
Hold on. You gentlemen need some drinks. We don't need to go to some sleazy bar. I have a place.
Lead the way.
She stands up and she says, we will actually have to get me an outfit before we go there, though. So if you could bring us to the house, that would do me a small favor. And Oscar, you're gonna need that back, she says, pointing at the coins.
Oscar sweeps the coin off the table and into his pouch. Yep.
You'll be buying.
All right, so.
Yep.
So what's the plan now? Exactly?
You stop by the house. She gets changed. She gets dressed in very different clothing. It's a lot. Considering her personality that you've come across, it doesn't surprise you that she's wearing clothing that's a lot tighter fit, so on and so forth. She comes off as, it's almost tomboyish, the outfit that she's wearing, with, again, her very cute look that she has to her. She ends up bringing you guys to, well, it looks like it would be an underground gambling hall, is what it looks like it would be. When you come walking in, you can see the place has that, the smell of heavy pipe and cigar smoke. You can see the plumes of smoky, like, in the air overhead. Luckily, the ceilings are a bit high, so most people don't have to stand in such an area where the smoke affects them too much. Oscar happens to be particularly tall, so it affects him much more than these two are particularly short. So they're actually perfectly fine. As you're making your way across where there's a few different places people are playing cards. But probably the most interesting thing that you see is there's literally an arena off to the side with people standing and placing bets and whatnot, where there's literal cage fighting happening. That's going on over there. She's gonna bring you guys over to the bar and order her drink, figuring you guys would order theirs, and say, let me introduce you to a couple of folks, she says, as she walks off and sits down at a card table. You can imagine like a blackjack, and has all three of you dealt in.
Well, time to lose some more money.
I'm gonna need... What?
I was just gonna be like, yes, I could use some help with this. I'm not very good at these games.
God damn it.
I passed this time.
Oh
no.
Oh no.
God damn it.
Oh,
Laszlo.
this is not
All
the
right.
place.
So I imagine a form forms from the smoke in the air next to me.
Summoning a goddamn ghost.
Oh no.
All right.
There's no activation. Like, it's just happens.
It just
I'm
happens.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's not a spell.
Yeah.
Laszlo has a great evening, and we can worry about how that finishes up some other time for next session or whatever. I just need you guys to do one more roll for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a carousing check, which is a basic
Communication.
Thank you.
Better from Laszlo. Terrible from Oscar. Very uncomfortable.
And it's
here.
Oscar. I can't win.
Why do I keep losing at cards?
You looking across the place? Isn't that man an outlaw? I'm pretty sure I've seen wanted posters for that man somewhere before.
Hold on. What is this place called? Didn't we do a raid on this place like 6 weeks ago? What is happening?
And he is the paladin in the den of thieves. Like, I do not understand why there's so many people over there practicing opening locks. By what need do you have to open locks so quickly and efficiently? I just realized. Like,
I didn't know the Locksmiths Guild was based out of here. That is absurd. Such a strange place for that.
Oh God! All right. Anyways, so Laszlo, however, you've always felt out of place everywhere, especially inside the goddamn castle, and even traveling with your friends, you feel a bit out of place. But here, you don't. You actually get along pretty well with some of the people here. I would say the person that probably stands out the most to you is a woman that goes by the name Ghost. She's a businesswoman, clearly. But after some fun conversation with her and losing some money to her and her actually looking at you on point in time and saying, let's stop.
Okay. That's probably good advice.
A drink?
Sure.
A conversation with her, which again, maybe you'd want to talk to her some other time when we have more time to go into it. You find out pretty quickly she's a businesswoman. By her, you and her kind of get along pretty well. She's matter of fact, down to the point, so on and so forth. Appreciates your winnings. But most importantly, actually find out she's a smuggler. Happens to be a smuggler from a place called Ravenhold, which is you've never heard of yourself, but that doesn't matter, neither here nor there. But goes by the name of Ghost. The two of you actually spend a good amount of time chatting and getting to know one another. She asks you some questions about the Arcane Congress. You ask her some questions about what it's like to live here. And so you guys get along fairly well. We're going to kind of end it with Chrysellin's great evening and you guys doing this. But one of the things I will say is the next day, you realize life returns to normal. People are busy. Chrysellin, after you leave from your morning ritual of bathing and so on and so forth, and your eventual goodbye kiss, she doesn't really have time to spend time with you anymore. You guys realize that maybe you're welcome in a Hekatsia unless you're looking to spend some serious coin. That Oscar just earned. Nope. Laszlo just earned. Unless you're looking to do something like that here, maybe your time in this horrible rain-ridden city is ended and you should head north. But we can deal with that next week.
Wait. When I tell the Lady Isaac that I absolutely would like to spend more time with her in the future, what does she say to that? Like, how receptive is she to it?
She says, after you go give your recountants to the crown, I would absolutely love to spend an evening with you. Besides, this place has some of the best places for dancing, some of the greatest music, and some damn good cuisine. But nobody makes cheesecake like we do in the capital.
Also, it kind of smells like worms here.
To be fair, it's been raining.
Exactly.
And we end with that. We'll end the session with that, but start the shilling of oneselves. I'm going to have Doxy, because I know there's lots of the rolling, playing, and thinging going on over on your channel. Tell us about it.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Zero Doxy. That's twitch.tv/ZER0DOXY. I've kind of merged communities with Dungeon Dad or Josiah, however you may know him. He does a Monster of the Week on YouTube every week. and we're going to start doing one-shots where we face off against that monster. We don't have a perfect schedule nailed down yet, but we do know that we will be streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, running reruns on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then on Saturdays and Sundays, we will rerun everything that's happened through the week. So come check us out. There's going to be a lot of bonuses for people who support. Just very excited about this change, and we have a really cool campaign starting tomorrow. So if you're gonna be here, definitely be here, but do not miss the VOD of what's gonna be happening on my channel tomorrow.
I mean, tomorrow night's just regicide. There's nobody interesting in that show. There's nothing exciting going on over there anyways. Don't worry about it. Go check out the premiere session. So anyways,
It's gonna be good.
Gonna be good. What show is tomorrow's?
Oh,
Or
we're
is it-
starting a new one.
Yeah, what's it called?
I'm not saying.
Oh, you haven't announced it yet.
Not really. No, Josiah's teased it a little bit on
Oh,
bit
he's
on
tweezed
Twitter.
it a little bit. He's tweezed it a little bit. It's a little bit plucked. At the moment.
I'm an idiot.
It was very good. I like that a lot.
Anyways, so all right. We ain't got time for RC. Who's next? I guess Josh. Josh, how you doing, little guy?
Hi. No, I'm kidding.
It's not convincing.
Hey. Oh, come on. All right. Hi, I'm a funny one. I'm a variety streamer, and I stream random shit until I get stable internet. I will not be doing any of my tabletop shows, but soon, and by soon I mean months away, that'll happen.
Sorry, man.
That's me. It's fine. It's fine. I'm really looking forward to Scott's Monday game, a pirate campaign. Oh, sorry. At least that's what he's leaking.
Who's in it?
God has just become a gnome for a little bit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Gnomes are just blurry.
Gnomes are
They're
just
just-
blurry. They're
I don't know
just
why I
evil,
got so
but
blurry all of a sudden.
I'll be a gnome.
Why is the
Sorry.
focus canceled?
because it's not auto.
I'm a gnome.
Why is autofocus off?
I don't know, man.
It's because us gnomes, man.
Yeah.
We're hard as
Let me just do this.
Uh,
You can keep going.
but yeah. Come check me out. I stream
Should fix it.
2 to 3 times a week on my own channel, and I'm here on Thursdays, as you know, and then I'm on Tantus's channel as well on Sundays. So check me out. That's it. There's much cooler stuff coming from. Go ahead, Will. Yeah,
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Hi. I'm Will. I don't actually do that much online anymore. This is pretty much the only thing that I do now. Quality time. So what I am doing is actually with Doxy as well, but also with our friends Josiah as well, and also with Ollie. We are making Schism, the Immolation of Oath and Fur. We're planning on launching early 2021 for Kickstarter. The game that we are making is a board game. It's a tabletop game. A tabletop skirmisher is what we're calling it. It is a 1v1 strategy game, miniature war game. It involves some very cool stuff, some very cool minis. You pit 3 champions against each other on a hex grid and try to come out victorious. It's very fun, very quick to play, and very easy to learn. The game that we are, the game that we're most excited about for the next year or so. I think, just not to brag, but you should be excited. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great. It's gonna be
Yeah.
What I will say, if you want to check it out, arcanusentertainment.com. There you can check out a little bit of the lore of the Immolation of Oath and Fur, or if you want to check out the rules for the game, that is also available on there right now. It is the beta rulebook still. We're going to be updating that rulebook, I think this week, maybe at the end of the week here, depending on how much time I have this weekend to work on it. And then we'll be putting it back up on the website. So there will be an update pretty soon on the rulebook. So you might want to hold off on downloading the beta rulebook that's there.
Have
right
you
now.
released an official date to for the Kickstarter comeback?
Not yet. So we
Everything is
are
very up in the air as the COVID stuff is happening.
precisely.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was
So
that was really awesome what you guys did.
it's you know, it's I'm not gonna lie, it's put a strain on the company overall in terms of just how
Mhm.
we've been able to handle finances and how we've been able to handle getting things set up. But I think
Things
it was
is
the right
rough.
choice. Things is rough, but you know, we believe in what we're doing, and we believe in, you know, doing what's best for the circumstances in the world right now as well, which is
Yeah.
you know, put your money into things that are going to matter more. But when we do launch, we would love for your support. If you want to, you can keep an eye on our social media, which you can find actually just linked in arcanecongress.com there. And when you take a look at those socials, we will be posting updates on them when we are ready to launch and announce. Until then, we're kind of keeping the updates there to a minimum, but you can check out more information on our website at any time. There's going to be a lot of new stuff kind of coming over the next little while. We're currently figuring out final pricing, for example, and that'll go on the website as well when we're ready, with a coming soon tag on the store page that we're going to have on the website. So once we have those final prices, you'll be able to see what you're going to be looking at spending, and the Kickstarter will actually be at a slight discount to that price. So it'll incentivize you purchasing at that point in time. So that's what we've got going on. So Scott, while you're playing there,
Well, I'm
you
just
having a nice
showing
time?
how easy it would be for me to show how the game would work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying
He's
like
putting in his application right now for
just saying that we
Yep.
can have, you know, we can make this work for you.
Yeah.
I even
Is the
got
Furby me?
Yes.
I love Furbies.
I hate Furbies. The fact that it's still in my office is literally Josh's fault.
I
Like,
think
it is-
they are
no.
so
No.
You convinced Rory to leave it in my office, and every time she sees it out, she brings it back in because of you. So,
I did no such thing, sir.
but
Oh,
look,
that's
I literally have the means to so I'm waiting for the beta, you know, Josh to come over sometime with the game, and we can play.
I just got that.
Yeah. So we'll be sending a copy to a few people when we finish getting the final pricing. That is kind of when we're getting our prototypes ready to go. Josiah and I are actually meeting tomorrow morning to go. Hopefully, if he's gonna be awake enough for it.
It's either
so
that
like-
or it's crotch cam because I'm waiting.
Yeah, no.
So like this is your fault, you know. This is
Now I
happening
feel
because
like
of
we're
you.
about to kiss a different way.
Yeah. All right, cameras off. That's for the best. Josiah and I are going to be discussing the final bits of materials and choices tomorrow morning in terms of what we're putting into the product. So once we have that conversation and finalize our input for the quote, we should have a pretty good idea on the final pricing for the product. And once we know that, we'll be able to order prototypes and get those sent to a few people to start promoting it. And we're really excited for that. So
I
don't worry.
really walked away. Can you tell me when the Kickstarter's starting up again?
So
They didn't announce it.
We haven't announced it yet.
So
We're
when?
looking at early 2021.
Okay, so
That's what we've said so far. It's very much up in the air right now. COVID is still kind of, you know, we're seeing it kind of rise up again at this point. And obviously in the States it's pretty bad. And we have like our business runs both in Canada and the US and in Europe. So, you know, we're affected by it kind of on multiple facets, just from a logistics standpoint, but then also we just don't want to be putting people in a position where they feel like they want to support us but can't due to their financial situation due to COVID. So that's what we're going to be kind of waiting on at this point in time. Man, it's weird seeing myself three
When you
times.
ding dong.
Oh wait, guys, we have to end it the way we started it. So it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure playing for you all today, and I just want to say I hope you have a great and wonderful day. Bye bye, folks.
Thanks for coming by. I'm gonna go have me a sip of the giggle juice.
Yeah.
That's all, folks. All right.
I wish you could do 2 of these at one time.
Yeah.
Because I want the glasses.
bye everybody. Hold on 2 seconds. I'll find somebody to raid.